Is this the cheapest Corvette C5 Z06 in the US with a clean title and a supercharger in the country? Stick around this video. You guys be the judge. This is gonna be the first video we're going to go through the car, see what the heck I just bought. Long story short, at least from what I know of the car, it was a track dedicated car. It's got a Procharger kit on it. It's got some, I don't know, mods on it. Got some race seats, got a racing steering wheel, but we want to see what we got and see if we can kind of dig into the engine a little bit before we start kind of ripping on this thing and actually bring it to the track. Just want to go through the car. So this video is going to be just a quick overview of the car. You can see here it's got this OMP race seat. It's got a, actual race steering wheel that's removed right now. Kind of some random stuff. It's got a boost gauge. It's got a lap timer as well right here. And then the shifter right now, I honestly don't even want to show you guys because it's horrendous when it does it. But right now the shifter needs some adjustment. So if you're trying to drive in first gear, it just pops out and makes the most horrific sound you've ever heard. Some sort of race seat on this side, harness bar, some seats. We're going to be upgrading a lot of the seats and the safety stuff, I guess, with race equipped stuff. But we got Josh and Dad here. They're the local LS experts. I don't know if they like to be called that, but they know a lot more LS stuff than I do. So together we're gonna go through it, see what we can see, probably pop the valve covers. But first things first, let's get this thing up in the air. It was a process in itself just to get it onto the lift. So we're gonna put it up, see what we see underneath, and we'll go from there. So car's up in the air, and we can all say that it isn't that bad, you guys. Let's start from the front. So obviously you can see the intercooler. Intercoolers are in here for the supercharger, and then we got some stuff. So it's got a Moroso catch can. They put the drain here so that you could easily drain it. What else? Also, you're gonna see our Procharger blow-off valve is here. Kind of want to upgrade this to something that's a little more performance-based because you can't even hear it right now. It's got this here for the twin intercoolers. It's got these brake ducts, but they're not connected to anything, so might do something there at some point. All the ball joints and everything, we can't like feel any like play in the wheels, which is good. It's got stainless steel brake lines. Somebody's either replaced or painted the calipers because you can see they look pretty decent. So stainless steel brake lines on both sides. What else? No major leaks up here. It's got an upgraded oil cooler. You'll see the lines going over to here. So it's got a pretty beefy oil cooler hanging out right there. No leaks on the engine. Good news. It's got these manifolds on it and then some sort of performance cats on it. We've got an X pipe. No major damage or anything on the bottom. Josh did see this little leak off the transmission, it looks like, but it's supposed to have Dextron 3 ATF, so this technically should be red, but I don't know what kind of fluid they have in it. Maybe some sort of synthetic stuff. No leaks off the back there. Only thing is there's no mufflers on it. It just has these rear section, but we're actually going to be putting probably a Hooker Blackheart rear muffler setup. That's on its way actually, so we'll be putting that on. Some sort of janky hangers that are on it, and this pipe here looks like it's kind of bent, but we're not seeing any damage or anything underneath. Got these tow hooks here on the back. Other than that, everything looks half decent. Probably have to figure out this oil leak at some point, but stainless steel brake lines on the rear too. This parking brake, it's missing the little lever for it for some reason, so that's why we don't have a parking brake. But other than that, not bad. And then I showed you guys on the kind of introductory video before, see how it's got these cracks. We also have some brand new rotors and pads coming as well for it, but everything's solid, everything's good so far. So let's see what we get into. I do want to fix that shifter, so we'll probably put it down, take a look at that maybe, but also we want to pull the valve covers and see what we can see in the engine. All right, so right now you can see here the valve cover gasket was wet here. There's oil, and the valve cover gasket has spit itself out, or somebody put it in incorrectly. So I told you guys I want to pop the valve cover off, so we're gonna take this one off, see what's going on underneath it. Matt might have just found a spark plug wire that wasn't even plugged in.
Yes, sure can.
It's a little, that would be a little extra horsepower, who knows, but we'll show you guys as we find more. All right, so we ended up pulling the valve cover. I forgot to film it, but it was just all stock in there. There wasn't anything crazy to see, and the gasket looked okay. It just had fallen out, so Josh is just putting the bolts back in. So yeah, nothing aftermarket under there. We pulled one of the plugs. It is extremely rich, but Plugs aren't new, but not a million years old either. We stuck the camera down the one cylinder over here. Top of the piston is just absolutely coated. You can see here. I don't know if you can see that. It is like just all carbon. But I mean, everything looks decent from what we can see. We're gonna try one more hole, but definitely a ton of soot on the top. What else? Did we notice anything else? I think that's it so far, right?
That's it so far.
Maybe a plug wire that wasn't seated. Oh, we found the booster pump. Or actually, Matt found the booster pump. So there is a Kenny Bell booster pump in front of this wheel right here. If we can pull this forward. All right, so there's the Kenny Bell boost pump hiding in here along with all the wiring. So you're gonna have to go through that, make sure that's all looking decent, but probably where our excess fuel is coming from. All that stuff there. Just pulled another plug, extremely rich. And then we got the camera in here. So again, rich. I don't know if you guys can see that, some glare on the camera. Cylinder walls look decent. Not as much carbon on top of the piston, but still definitely coated. But car has 138,000 on it, so and it's probably the original engine. So overall, nothing bad that we're finding, but I'm just going through it. All right, so we're inside the car. I apologize, you guys haven't even heard this thing. Somebody jump in there. Matt, jump in there and fire this thing up. This thing sounds pretty rowdy. But we're gonna mess with the shifter and the seat next. Gotta give it a little jiggle. Hey, there you go. Give it some sauce. Okay, so there, now you guys have heard it. We're gonna go ahead and unbolt this seat, see why it's so loose, and we might even replace it. We got some race equipped stuff that kind of want to get in there because we're gonna drive this around a little bit. All right, so here is the climate control and the stereo. We're probably gonna end up taking this out eventually, but what was in there right now is horrendous. So Josh, you got that plate? Look at that. It was just this rippled looking dealio here. It was the back of a piece of diamond plate, and it had just a fuel pressure gauge, which apparently is just stuck on the same fuel pressure all the time. So for now, we're gonna remove this and just at least throw the radio in there. Might put some race gauges, but I might mount them somewhere else, but we're gonna take this out, put in our radio, at least so we got some tunes we're ripping around, and go from there. So we got the seat out. It's missing a bolt, and that one's loose. Oh, there's another thing we found. And then on the shifter here, we just followed this little sequence deal here. And it was missing this pin, so we just found this Allen key that fits. And then you loosen 1, 2, 3, and then get a little wiggle, a little jiggle wiggle, and then tighten these 3 back up. And that puts, I guess, the shifter back into position so that hopefully it doesn't pop back out of first, because that was a little crazy. And then, yeah. We're gonna go ahead and put our 2 modules back in there so that we got maybe a radio for now, and then so I can at least turn on the blower motor. All right, so we've got a brand new race equip bucket seat. This thing is fresh, you guys. Also have the brackets, so we're gonna go ahead. I'm not sure if I wanna leave the adjustable rails. Comment down below, would you guys leave this slider rail, or would you just hard mount it so that it's sized to me? I'm not sure. I'm gonna start disassembling it. We'll decide here, but let me know what you guys would do if you guys are in this situation. Would you leave the slider rails, or would you just permanently fix it? All right, check it out, you guys. So we've got our race equipped seat up in here. I do have race equipped seat belts that we're gonna have to put in here, but or harnesses, I should say. But we'll probably save that for another video here. But yeah, these ones are, I think, expired, but this seat looks so much better in here, you guys. And it looks pretty cool even with the door closed. Like, yeah, I think it looks pretty badass, but let me know what you guys think down below. We've got our steering wheel. So this is, it did have the sliders on it, but we chose just to fix it just for my position. And yeah, good to go. Shifter's also adjusted now, so now it doesn't pop out of first. And we'll see what else we get into on this C5Z track car. Okay, so we did try removing the filter off the bypass or blow off valve on the Procharger kit, but it didn't, I promise you guys, make much, if any, difference in sound from the blow-off valve, because we kind of wanted to get a little bit of whoosh noises, as racer as that may say. I thought it would be kind of cool, but didn't make any difference. So we'll probably throw this back on until I actually get a better blow-off valve or bypass valve. So up next on this thing, like I said, seat is in, we're good there. You will see that there's stands on the back here. I haven't showed you guys this yet, but somebody did have a wing on here. It looks horrendous. So let me show you guys the wing that was included with the car. And then I want to take these stands off so that I can sell the wing, recoup some money. We're also going to sell that other seat, that Halo seat, recoup some money on that, and we can just reinvest it back in the car for other cooler parts. But let me put the wing on here and you guys can give me your opinion. Ugh. I already don't like it. It's not even like they lined it up nice. Whoever installed it didn't even like put the brackets in decent. There we go. All right. She's on. All right, so it is a carbon fiber wing. It's a pretty nice wing. I just really think it is not the ticket for this thing. It just, ugh. I would be maybe down to put a wing on this, like a functional wing. This one probably would add function, but it is just, I don't know. Not my cup of tea, but comment down below. What do you guys think? You guys like it? I just think it looks like something that should be on a Honda Civic, unfortunately. Like maybe if it was like almost like a Viper ACR where it had a huge flat wing and it extended out to the sides of the car, but just the fact that it's smaller than the car, it looks like a toy on there. So anyways, I'm gonna pop this off. I'm gonna take the stands off of here, or the mounts to the actual car, and then I'm gonna see if I can find some rubber plugs or something for now, or maybe I might just put tape on it, but I do wanna find some rubber plugs for the holes that they drilled into our trunk lid. All right, so pretty happy with the outcome of that. It is what it is. I'm gonna have to end up filling these holes and painting the deck lid, but came off pretty decent. It looks like somebody tried to, get these out and kind of chip the paint around it, but I ended up using one of those rubber wheels, cleaned off all the goo. There was like, kind of like some double-sided tape or something that was in between to seal it, but I might try to go to the hardware store and try to find some very small rubber plugs for now. I don't want to enlarge these holes any more than they already are, but might see if I can find a little something just to plug these up for now, and maybe I'll try to polish this. But anyways, I do think it looks better than those crusty stands that were there, and we'll kind of clean things up as we go along. So that's gonna pretty much conclude what I want to do for now. There's some other small stuff, and I can continue to show you guys. Like this boost gauge is only held together. It's like too wide for the A-pillar, and they snuck this like shift light in here. Just some small stuff, and then I have a bunch more parts showing up. So we're gonna have rotors and pads for all four corners showing up. We also have a Hooker Blackheart axle back exhaust just to kind of add some tone to it, kind of knock off a little bit of the rasp, but let me know what you guys think of the sound right now. And we'll probably end up replacing that passenger seat because I don't know what the deal is with that one. It looks extremely uncomfortable, but I do like at least the race equipped seat, so maybe we'll get a matching one for that. Let me know what other things you guys recommend or want to see on this. We are going to be continuing to go through this thing. There's a lot of just wiring that's hanging about that I need to clean up, and I do have to figure out what I want to do with the setup. So essentially, right now it's running a Kenny Bell booster pump on, I believe, a stock fuel pump, and then it's got, I think Josh looked them up, 42-pound fuel injectors. So I'm gonna have to get with a tuner, see if that's like a decent setup. It's like super rich right now. I would prefer not to have a booster pump on it, have the correctly sized fuel pump, and then the correctly sized fuel injectors. That way we're kind of dialed in that way, but we'll see. I guess, we'll talk to the Corvette tuning experts and see what the magic combo is for this. Ideally, if I could run it on E85, I would like to, but Again, we'll find out and then I'll update you guys. We've got some more stuff on the way, but I'm pretty excited. We'll be hitting the track on this, but what do you guys think? This is one of, if not the cheapest clean title Z06 cars that is supercharged, I think, in the US. So 12 grand for this car. What do you guys think? Again, 138,000 miles, clean title, supercharged. It was a dedicated track car, but we could easily, as you can see, you could convert it back to a street car, but we're gonna be using it as a track duty car. But let me know what you guys think down below. Is this the best deal in the US at the given time of this video? I would love to hear your feedback. If you like this content and you want to see more stuff, Hellcat Swap Ram, Hellcat Swap Dakota, 426 Hemi Whipple supercharged Dakota, and also a 1200 wheel horsepower Challenger Hellcat. Subscribe to the channel. Catch you guys in the next one.